Hi, Rachel.
I'm at the wrong way round.
You're the right way up now. Cool. I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Yeah, please let our community know who you are and how you're connected to Clara.
Okay, so I'm Rachel. I'm a chartered financial planner. I've been in the financial services industry for about 15 years, giving financial advice to clients. And now I'm head of planning at Claro, so I'm helping develop the financial planning product and the team.
Nice. Welcome to the team. One of the questions that we ask everyone who is coming on to this new series is to talk about your current financial goals. What are they currently, and how does that fit in with your life at the minute?
Yeah, so at the moment, my main goals are to save for my children's future. So that could be like a house deposit or uni, or but basically just to give them a good start in life. I want to pay off my mortgage and also save for retirement. So they're my three main goals at the moment.
Amazing. And then do you have like a timeline for these goals?
Yeah, so really all of them are what I class as longer term goals. And for me, that's like over 10 years really before I'm going to fully achieve them. So my children, I've got two little girls and they're 6 and 4. And any money that I'm saving for them, they're certainly not going to have before they're 18. Probably a little bit after that. So obviously that's going to be over 10 years. And then the same for my mortgage. And, you know, it would be nice if I could retire within 10 years, but it's highly unlikely. So
amazing.
So
Hopefully.
Longer-term goals.
Cool. And then given these timelines that you spoken about, like, have you currently allocated your available savings against these goals?
Yeah, so when I'm looking at how much I want to save towards my goals, the first thing that I look at is like how much money is coming in and how much money is going out. And when I think about what's going out, then I'm thinking kind of like my non-negotiable expenses, so like mortgages, bills, all of that kind of thing. And then with what's left over, then I work out how much I can realistically save. And then I save that straight away. So I don't wait till the end of the month before I save it. Because I'll be more tempted to spend it, obviously. So I try to save that straight away. And then kind of like another layer to it is looking at, right, well, if I'm saving this amount, then when will I achieve what I want to achieve? And am I happy with that? Or how much income will I have in retirement? Am I happy with that? And if not, then thinking about, well, what will I need to do either now or maybe in the future to do that? So I just keep reviewing it on an ongoing basis.
So that's good. So you definitely review like how your sort of planning is going. But how do you decide where you save and invest your money?
Yeah, so the money that I allocate to my mortgage obviously is easy. It just sort of overpays my mortgage, so that's fine. And then in terms of my other goals, I look at being tax efficient. So using my allowances like my ISA allowance, pension contributions, making sure I use those allowances. And then the other thing is where I allocate it from an investment perspective, because my goals are longer term, then I'm happy to invest in like stocks and shares. I've got kind of cash, secure fund for like emergencies and short-term things that might come up. So for my allocation for these investments and savings, I can take a little bit more risk. And so stocks and shares are where I would put them.
Oh, great. You mentioned risk. So how does your risk and your like potential returns play into how you decide where to save and invest?
So the longer it is until I'm going to need access to the money, then the more risk I'm willing to take, basically. So I want to get the best return on my money. So because these goals are longer term, then I'm quite high risk really in where I invest it.
Oh, that's good. And then do you have certain values that influence this sort of mindset?
Yeah, so I think like my values come in really with my goals and in terms of my investments. So like overriding maybe all of my goals, but for everything, like my core value is like my family. So they come first. And I think that comes through in what my goals are personally. So, saving for my children, paying off my mortgage and retirement. It's all about trying to have like a secure financial future for me and my family. So like my values really come in with my goals, but then also in terms of which investments I pick, then I will definitely be taking into account my values. I do more now and going forward. Previously, I think ethical investing, people steered away from it a little bit. The market was quite restrictive in terms of what investments were available, and maybe the performance wasn't perceived to be, or probably wasn't as good as some of the mainstream funds. So it felt like maybe a bit of a luxury to be investing in line with your values as well as trying to get the returns. But I definitely think that's massively changed now, the market for ethical investing. And so going forward, I'm really going to be looking at trying to invest in companies that I know have like a positive impact on the world, but whilst I can still get really good returns on my money.
That's amazing. And then what would be your top saving tip or money tip for someone who's new to maybe personal finance?
So my top tip is to talk about money more, really, like people don't. And so I think it's really important because it's just the best way to learn. So for me, I've got a really good friend who I can talk to about money, and she's actually in a really similar situation to me and time in her life. And so it's always really helpful to talk about what she's doing with her money, what I'm doing with my money, and get ideas. So that's really helpful. And I think that just goes for anybody. If you can find someone or people that you're comfortable talking to, you can get ideas from, and also maybe people that are sometimes a little bit ahead of you as well, and you can kind of see what they've done and the outcomes that they've achieved, and it gives you a bit more confidence. But if you don't really have those conversations in the first place, then you can't get there. So my top tip would just be to talk about money more and be more comfortable doing that.
That's amazing. That's what we're doing at Claro. So perfect, like little plug.
It's doing really well.
And then what would you say, because obviously you have some experience sort of in the financial industry, but do you have sort of a favorite or most useful resource that helped you kind of be in the know?
Yeah. So, I mean, I follow all of the usual kind of financial publications and Financial Times, Citywire, and all those kinds of things to keep up to date on the industry and the markets and all the different products and legislation and all of those kinds of things. But one of the things that I did want to mention, which kind of fits in with my whole talking about money, is Claro's running a monthly competition to have a free session with a financial coach. So if anybody look for things like that, it's just to get started even, or if you've got really questions or need some guidance on anything to do with your finances, then I would recommend entering to see if you can get a free session. I'm sure you can put the link somewhere for people to find it.
The link will be in the bio, so anyone interested can definitely do that. What a cheeky plug.
Well, use this time wisely.
Right, exactly. And then finally, what is the current project you're working on? I know you're working on loads of things with Claro, and we're all working on some amazing content that will be coming out soon.
So I'm here at Claro, keeping busy, developing the planning product, and it's really, really exciting. So this is where you'll find me. But yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you for joining me today on the show. And if anyone else wants to learn more, we'll have some links in the bio for the competition and a few free resources that we have available. And we'll be back next week with another Abdul Asks series. But thank you, Rachel, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.